If I was dead and could talk to my boys, number two, the thing that you're discriminated for is probably going to be your superpower, or there's a good chance of being your superpower. And I say that probably number one thing I was, if I say discriminated for, is the way I talk, my accent. And not discriminated so much, made fun of, though some people, mostly just giving you a hard time. But noticing the way people would turn a deaf ear to the way I talk, the whole country hick, um, slack jawed dummy, I guess is the way it sounds. And there was a point, with turning a deaf ear because they thought, well, he doesn't have much intellect. He's not very smart. So I'm not going to take much of what he says to heart. So um, there's a long time I was like, man, I hate that. I had people that I considered smart that I wanted to talk to about a particular subject, yet they would not listen to my opinions because of my accent. And I was like, I should probably fix that and, try to talk more proper, sound more, sound smarter, whatever. And then it occurred to me that quite a bit later in life, probably 30s, that is actually a superpower. That I noticed these people that would turn a deaf ear to, an accent like mine would perk up an ear to, say, somebody with that said all the right words or had, say, German accent or British accent or whatever that we consider to be intelligent because of the accent. I'm assuming German because of Einstein having that type of accent is where that came from. Just a guess. Maybe there's a lot of scientists actually had that, but I mean I do know where the country accent being sounding dumb came from. Anybody can look that up. It's kind of a long story. It has had a legitimate, at a period of time, it did have a legitimate, um, I guess you would say it was legitimate, to be like somebody talking like that probably was dumb, but I think it was all due to, it was, I think it was roundworm. I'm not certain. I got the worm mixed up, but it was due to a type of parasitic infection, and the group of people, most of them that talked like that, had that infection, which basically lowered their IQ. But there's a whole story behind that. I won't really get into it as much, but what I am getting to is, let's say, with accent, it just occurred to me. It's like, man, this is actually a superpower on my end because my accent has nothing to do with how intelligent somebody is. And it made it pretty easy to me, though, there's always an urge probably in all of us to want to be listened to, or, thought that what we're saying is important to everybody. But it occurred to me that it made it easy for me to weed through those that really mattered. That, somebody was going to turn and not listen to me because of my accent, then they're probably not smart enough that I want to waste my time with them. That it's an easy way to find quality people in your life. I think, just to say this from Dr. Seuss, I think, I think Dr. Seuss was probably pretty smart as far as he knew how to say things in a way that hit home for kids, and he knew that was a prime time to inject things into people, during that impressionable period of time to change society. And I believe he was trying to do that. He made his books entertaining to where it would captivate uh, young people and say things in rhymes where they could remember it, like I'm remembering this now. Um, and he thought he was, helping the world and in the books he wrote. But uh, I'll not say the quote exactly. I should have wrote it down, but it essentially says, uh, I think he says, say, be who you are, say what you will, because those who matter don't mind, and those who mind don't matter. I may have it backwards, but you might can look that up. That's was the gist of it, saying that um, just if you say you're speaking from the heart and you're being yourself, I guess you would say true to yourself, not necessarily, if you're being yourself and yourself as some psychopath murderer, well, that's not going to be a positive thing to be yourself. But he's essentially saying, I say, don't critique who you are to, I guess, get the approval of people that don't even really matter. You're going to see, you think they matter uh, in the present, but you'll see in the long run, maybe you'll wish you had not made yourself appealing to those people and they had just moved on. You had just stayed true to who you are and your beliefs. And if they have a problem with it, then that's their problem. Let them not be a part of your life. So you will accumulate more quality people instead of just quantity of people. Um, which that's another discussion where now people won't seem to desire quantity, which is more friends, more followers, more subscribers, in the digital world we're in. But if I have 100 people watch one of my videos, I consider it a great success. I mean, to me that's insane that I have it's that easy for 100 people to listen to me. That's a lot of people on my to me. I'd rather 100 that may take what I say and and them build on that, or it make them think in a different way than 100,000, 100 million, whatever, that they just just go on to the next video and the next one and the next one, and or they just say, well, that's you, not me, whatever, but it doesn't make any kind of impact. So I would rather impact 100 than just entertain a million. So I say that was with me, that's my accent, and I still embrace that. I don't even, somebody don't want to listen because of the accent. I say, well, I probably don't, I don't care, because you're probably not a person I want to waste my time with. And that goes with, I'm height the same way. Height being, I think I'm probably 5'8" right now, and it seemed that's never really, I never, I say that it doesn't bother me. I mean, maybe if I was 4'8", height would be an issue, but uh, never has been an issue with me. I've never seen where that has held me back because of the people, females in general, that had an issue with it. It didn't take me long to see that they that was their critique. They didn't, I mean, that was the thing that they just couldn't accept. Well, it didn't take me very long to realize they was not very intelligent person anyway. Like, we wasn't going to have um, very deep conversations. It would probably be about, it'd probably be things about style or some other, celebrities, or um, it would be very surface level conversations that feels like torture to me to have in the first place. So that never bothered me, and like I say, I can look at that as another superpower. I never wished I was 6'4" or any different. I never understood how it's going to benefit me whatsoever. How in this, if we lived in a day of um, gladiators, it was law of the jungle where the still biggest man takes all. Then yeah, it would, but it's not that time anymore. It doesn't really matter. So I say that in whatever you have, the people discriminate, whether it be uh, you're black, or they discriminate because you're white, or they discriminate, you're Asian, the way you talk, um, whatever, you're gay, lesbian, uh, and they discriminate because of those things. You're whatever. I say, look at those as that, what you have as a superpower, and weeding out the people that really don't matter. It's not going to matter in your life ultimately, and because the people that will matter in your life, they're going to care. They're not going to care about what color you are, or sexual preference, or the way accent, or any of those things. They're going to care about stuff like, um, you know, how do you treat animals? Like, are you cruel to animals? Are you how do you treat people you don't know, like waiters or waitresses? Or do you lie? Do you steal? Do you cheat on stuff? Do you brag about everything you do? Do you act like you're um, the most important person in the world? Are you lazy? Um, are you nasty? You know, are you're not a good dad, not a good mom? You don't take care of your kids? Um, do you blame everybody else for everything that goes wrong with you? Uh, do you try to do your best? Maybe you don't succeed in what you're doing, but you try to do your best, and whatever you're trying to. And my biggest thing now, it's like epidemic. Do you do what you say you're going to do? Or do you just talk? Are you like a dog barking when it's that in itself has changed a lot for me, and just the last couple of years. Like, there's very few people that I actually even raise an eyebrow when they tell me what they're going to do, because it seems like, if in their mind, that if they say they're going to do it, that's the same as doing it. Like, oh, if that meant they had intentions, and somehow that can make them feel somewhat better because they had intentions of doing this thing, yet uh, they never follow through. So it's like, how good is your word? I'm sure I'm missing a few, but those are the things that people that are going to matter in your life. Uh, that's the things you're going to care about, and that's the things they're going to care about you. So that's um, that's what I would say to my kids, or wish I could say if I was dead, and from the great beyond to them. Thank you.